Hey, Bruce Hill. I make sales simple for founders, entrepreneurs. Help me hear yes more often without sounding salesy. This one is inspired by a new connection, Sebastian Dziuk, and there's 10 questions email marketers should ask to turn more conversations into clients. So we had an hour, I think it was blocked for an hour. It might have been about 30, 35 minutes call today. And there's some things that Sebastian just did really, really well. And I want to shout out. So if anyone, especially my speakers, but anyone that has a digital course, coaches will fit into this. There's a few other niches that he can help with, but shout out to the speaker's email marketer and helping speakers build a better speaking business. Man, I love that. It's clear, it's concise, it's compelling. And you know, when we talk about that 3C's training, that's what we aim for. Is it clear what he does and who he does it for? Absolutely check that box. Is it concise? And that does not mean short. I think here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 9, 12 words. It's not about being, should we get it to 8 words? Should we get it to 7? Does he say the most with the fewest words? Yes, absolutely. And then when we talk about compelling, well, to the right person, is this compelling? I really like build a better speaking business, right? If you're looking to grow, you're looking to improve, hey, you know what? Let's check this guy out. So I do, for all my speakers, definitely encourage you to check out Sebastian. There's a couple things I would love to highlight that he did well. Let me just zoom out on this a little bit so I can see it. Hopefully that the YouTube thumbnail shows up well. Conversation. Well, let me write this. Let me write down my 4 questions, and then we'll walk backwards through them. What went well? What would you like to see more of? And what would you do differently? What would you stop doing? Those are 4 questions I'm going to ask. And you should ask whether it's self-reflection or we're working together. You're probably going to hear me ask these questions about a sales conversation. Now, I'm a speaker. I definitely need some help with some email marketing. And that's why I initiated a call. So I love how conversational tone is. That's one thing I think he did really, really well. It was like talking to an old friend. I'm like, oh man, this was great. And that's difficult to teach. I believe it's possible to teach. If you're already comfortable in yourself, confident being yourself, it's going to show up in your conversations. So conversational. He was prepared. And this gentleman had looked at my YouTube, looked at my LinkedIn, had Googled, what did he say he Googled? He Googled the business name just to see what shows up on the SEO. I was like, man, I love this. And then he added value in the conversation and he brought ideas. So he gave me a suggestion for web domain that's easy to remember, to use it as a landing page. Man, that's pretty good. I'm gonna have to grab that one. Actually, you know what? I will. Let me put that on my to-do list. He brought ideas. He said, hey, have you tried this? That really makes a call feel like it's a good use of your time. It makes a call feel like, man, this person really has invested in my success. So these things, A plus. What would I like to see more of? He asked 3 really good questions. Let me see here. Oh, here it is. What are your goals with email marketing? I believe there was 2 options of sponsorship and then leads, right? I would love to see more great questions like this. Towards the end of the conversation, he asked the question, what do you think about signing up? And I actually wrote a class for this exact reason. There's seen one area of opportunity for so many entrepreneurs. And this is even the individual contributor. You work for a Fortune 500 company. It's asking for the business. I really like this question because it's not pushy, but it does allow you to get to the yes. Sometimes people will volunteer yes. Man, what do I do yet? I got to sign up right now. But most of the time, you're going to have to ask them. And he asked. So that was great. That's great. I love how he phrased the question. Um, there was one more question that he asked that I had. Oh, this was another bring ideas. He talked about using Kit, and he talked about the differences between some of the other ones and why that was valuable. So that's going to actually be under bringing ideas and adding value. So these two questions really good. Hopefully, I'm going to highlight these. And this is where I want to see more of. What would you do differently? Oh, I set an agenda. Now, this might be unique to my type A personalities, or if you're using the DIS, the D and I letters on the DIS profile, it's important so that you can have a productive call more often. There are talkers, it will derail an agenda, but the other 80% of the time, you'll be good to go. And then what would you stop doing? Oh, honestly, I don't want to make any recommendations just because he was being himself. Always be yourself. So for that one, I'm gonna say no notes. Oops, no notes. All right, beautiful. Here's where I'm gonna go back to these questions. Right, because I'm working on my next book. Um, Better questions, better clients. And then if you're on the list, you'll get an invite to one of the webinars where we talk about, okay, well, how do we ask better questions? The book talks more about what questions we're going to ask, and then the trainings we do are reinforcing a skill of asking better questions. So here's 10 questions that I would love to see him ask from the term more conversations. I can tell you he's working with, I can tell you that's what he's doing. Um, the missed opportunity is finding out what piece of education that his client needs. So let's start with the introduction. Um, why did you schedule a call? Or let's put it this way. Now, I might ask either or. You may not need to ask both. If they say something vague or ambiguous, then you use the second question for clarity. So if you say, hey, why'd you schedule a call? Say, I had a little time. Okay. Well, if you want to talk and hang out, go to a sports bar. Right. I said, okay, well, glad you could share some time with me. What would you like to cover during this conversation? If they answer vaguely again, that tells you right away they are going to need some more education. Um, they may not be motivated to implement any changes, and we got to dig deeper there. This one I talk about if you go to our YouTube channel, New Skills New You, under turning conversations to clients. This is the framework we're using. I will start with those two. Next, let's see, introduction, situation. There's actually going to be, I'm going to write down probably 5 or 6 questions here. I want you to use at least 2. You don't need to use all of them, but at least 2 of them. What email platform are you using right now? Why did you choose that email platform? How many emails are you sending out a week? How many unique emails do you have in your database? So let's pause and break these down. This is a good question to figure out their current situation. What are they doing? And if they say, oh, I use Beehive or Substack or Kit, a follow-up question could be very easily, uh, why did you choose that platform and do you like it? Sometimes they're like, well, I don't know. I just Googled something and clicked on the first one. And that'll let you know their level of experience with the tool or with email marketing in general. If they like it, they say, yeah, it works. Okay. That's a gap where you can add value. Let me show you a better way to do things. Sometimes things don't have to be burning down around their ears, metaphorically speaking, for them to make a change. We just have to show them that there's a better way to do things. One great example of Sebastian did was he told me about Kit versus some of the other tools, how their analytics are better. I'm like, okay, that's great. That shows me a contrast. That gives me a reason to change. Again, we want to understand how they make decisions. I talk about this in another training I'm working on. We need to understand open-ended questions and closing-ended questions. That's been taught many times. But this is what I call a concept question. I want to understand their motivation, their reasoning, their logic, their decision making. This one is more of a concrete question. It's going to break down a piece of data, some facts, and it's going to tell me something very important. But what are they going to say? They're going to say, oh, I'm not going to send any emails. Well, as an email marketer, you know what needs to happen there. If they say, I don't know, there's a value add there. Hey, wouldn't it be great if I could tell you exactly how many emails went out, how many bounced, how many opened, and how many clicked? Yeah, I could do a lot with that data. Okay, great. Let's keep going. And you have to resist the urge to pitch your solution until you get to the end, which Sebastian did a really great job. He wasn't pushy. He was very curious. He listened. Well done. If he starts asking these questions, if you borrow these questions, you're going to see more of your conversations turn into clients. How many unique emails do you have in your database? Again, just like this question, that's a concrete question. They're going to say, I don't know. I don't have any. Or they'll tell you a number, and that is an answer in and of itself. Let's keep going. Situation. I call this one their aspiration, or sometimes I'll call it their inspiration. What do you want? Where do they want to go, right? Hey, if we fast forward, you're regularly sending out emails. What does your business look like? What changes for the better? And this is another concept question. I want them to picture what success looks like. And the goal is to connect working with me to their success. I want them to know that where they are isn't where they want to stay. And I might even say quality. Use an adjective that emphasizes the value you bring to your clients. This is one that I would have liked to talk about in our conversation. And that would help really say, well, hey, if you don't move forward, if you don't sign up, you're delaying this outcome. So now all of a sudden, it's not me saying, hey, man, I really need you to sign up, rent's due. Right? No, say, hey, listen, you told me that sending quality emails regularly is going to help your business accomplish 1, 2, 3. Is that still a priority? And I'll say, yeah, you're right. And you're going to have those folks that are on the fence and it's really self-doubt or self-belief, and they're going to get signed up. Okay. Frustration. This contrast is important because, and this necessarily isn't a problem, but it's the distance between their situation and their aspiration. I'll call it the sales distance. And I say it that way because where they at could be okay. It could be working, but they want it to work better. It could be good, but they want it to be great. So that distance and the frustration from not being able to get here is where we can motivate them to take action, i.e., get started. Right? So, what happens if nothing changes? Is what you're doing right now making progress to your goals? I love that question. Everyone should borrow this one. Listen, you don't have to work with me. My business is doing well. I love what I do. I'm going to keep doing it for years. But if you don't work with me, are you going to get to where you want to go as quickly as you want to go? Just ask them. And they have to admit to themselves, like, you know what, this is not working. One thing Sebastian said that was phenomenal. I'm going to pull up this page one more time so you can remember how to spell it. He was like, hey, you know what, Bruce? The biggest regret my clients have is not signing up sooner. I was like, oh, that's good. That shows a lot of confidence, and it holds you responsible. Like, hey, success loves speed. Take action. All right, let's keep going. Last part. Then the solution. Then the solution. This part is pretty simple. You're going to have to say a little phrase, something like this. Hey, Bruce, based on what you told me, I believe I can help you. Would you like to hear my suggestion? This is a close-ended question, but it's important. Are they open to change? Are they open to improvement? If they say yes, we're going to talk about their next step. If they say no, we say, hey, thank you for being honest with me. Is it okay if I add you to my email list? You add them to the email list. Right? I'm going to send you something valuable to help you in the meantime till you're ready. Ooh, this is something Sebastian does really well. I want to see more marketers do. You go to his, here we go, speaker marketing roadmap. Has a clear purpose, clear identity, clear timeline. Okay? And it's really easy to sign up. It's your email. Done. See how simple this page is? Not fancy. Now, if you're doing some more, he breaks it down. And there's a second chance to opt in. This is textbook. Do this. Or if you're not doing this, go work with Sebastian. Let's see. So if they say no, send them to your opt-in. Ask permission. Don't just be signing people up for stuff. If they say yes, this is when and only when. Hey, listen. It should be a brief summary. If you get it down honestly, it should be 10 sentences. It really should just be a summary, right? Hey, you scheduled this call to accomplish this. Currently, you're doing this. You'd like to be doing this, but this is in the way. Did I miss anything? Summary plus confirmation question. No, you got it. Okay. Solution. And then pause for questions. Now, this is important. When we present the solution, it's not the how, it's the what. It's the outcome. Hey, listen, when you sign up for my program, it's going to take this much time, and here's where we're going to end up at the end. You're going to have this, and this. What you have to be careful of, we'll say, how do we do it? Oh, you're going to schedule this call. It's going to be 59 minutes and 16 seconds, and I'm going to ask you these 15 questions. How is not as important until I understand what you're offering me matches with this. Some people don't care about how it works. They just want the solution outcome. Some people are going to ask you, can you break it down for me? That's fine. Answer it. It's not a secret. I just want you to be efficient with your time. So focus on what and why, not how. Let me write that down. Focus on what and why. Don't get lost in the how when you are presenting your solution. Okay? Now, these questions. Here's people say, you have any questions? Don't ask that. What other questions do you have? Period. I guess that's technically a question. Oops. Keep asking that or a version of that until they say, I don't have any other questions. Then you're going to ask the question that Sebastian did. What do you think about signing up? I like to ask, what do you think our next step should be? One of three things will happen. They'll say, hey, this is great, but it's not what I'm looking for. That's okay. We're not in the convincing business. Let them go. They'll say, I'm not sure. They say, well, I think that you should choose option A because it's helped other clients like you achieve their aspirations. What do you think? Yeah, let's do it. All right, great. Or they'll say, hey, basically, what do you think the next step should be? You'll say, well, you know what? I think I should get started. Okay, great. I think that's an excellent decision. Here's what we need to do next. All right, that's how email marketers can turn more conversations into clients. That might have been more than 10 questions, but you're welcome. Remember, one new skill will change your life.